India's global victory amidst tensions with Pakistan. Samsung's big bet and the story of an economic revolution. On one hand, when a terrorist attack strikes from the soil of a neighboring country, a wave of mourning sweeps across the nation, the Indian government takes tough decisions and borders are sealed. On the other hand, at the very same time, India scores a global victory on another front. A victory not achieved through bullets or rhetoric, but through India's economic strength, trusted policies, and rising manufacturing capabilities. While the entire nation was grieving and seething after the Pahalgam terrorist attack, another headline started making waves across the world. South Korean giant Samsung is now planning to shift production from Vietnam to India, specifically for the US market. This isn't just a company's decision, it's a clear sign of a changing India, a country that is no longer seen merely as a market, but as an emerging manufacturing superpower. India's victory here isn't just commercial, it's a victory of trust, as the world now sees India as a beacon of policy stability and economic potential. Today, we will dive deep into this powerful story. But before we begin, if you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any of our updates. So let's dive right into today's discussion without any further delay. First, let's talk about Pakistan. India's moves, suspending the Indus Waters Treaty, sealing the Atari border, and cancelling visa facilities, were not merely diplomatic actions. They were strong signals that India is now prepared to fight terrorism on every possible front. And while Pakistan was desperately seeking support on international platforms amidst rising tensions, India quietly secured a major economic victory that captured global attention. After Alphabet, Google's parent company, now even Samsung sees India as a better alternative than Vietnam, especially for manufacturing meant for the US market. In other words, India is now in a position to snatch production away from Vietnam, a country that had long been the favorite under the China Plus One strategy for nearly a decade. This is not just a policy win, it's the result of years of building trust and showcasing policy stability. Samsung has now requested the Indian government to grant it a one-year PLI, production-linked incentive, benefit that it had missed earlier when it failed to meet production targets. But circumstances have changed. The government believes that if this relaxation is granted, Samsung could add up to $10 billion in additional production in India. That means, in exchange for just 1 year's incentive relief, the country could gain thousands of crores worth of production, generate massive employment opportunities, and boost exports. This deal could prove to be more impactful than many diplomatic agreements, and importantly, it won't just end with Samsung. It sets a precedent that makes India an even more attractive destination for other global players as well. According to insiders, the South Korean company is exploring the possibility of shifting its production from Vietnam to India amid the tariff war initiated by the United States. Recently, the US imposed a 46% tariff on products coming from Vietnam, whereas the tariff on goods from India stands at a much lower 26%. This difference could give India a significant advantage. Industry experts reveal that Samsung currently manufactures around 43 to 45 million smartphones annually in India, out of which 23 to 25 million are for domestic consumption and the rest are exported. However, if US demand is also fulfilled from India, this production number could surge to 70 million units. Such an expansion would create hundreds of new opportunities in engineering and factory jobs, directly benefiting India's youth. At present, Samsung exports nearly $10 billion worth of phones from Vietnam to the US. But experts believe that a substantial portion of this figure could now shift to India. The company is reportedly preparing to initiate this transition as early as the current quarter. If this happens, it would be a massive economic and strategic boost for India. Not only would it significantly increase India's exports, but it would also further cement India's reputation as a global manufacturing hub. Beyond just earning more dollars, this move could revolutionize India's technical skill base, improve logistics infrastructure, and rejuvenate its supply chains, bringing about long-term structural benefits to the Indian economy. The Smartphone PLI, Production-Linked Incentive, scheme, launched in 2021, was aimed at making India a manufacturing hub not just for domestic needs but also for the global market. Initially, due to COVID disruptions, some companies were unable to meet their targets. However, now that the global situation has shifted and trade tensions between the US and China have peaked, India's emergence as a preferred alternative feels natural. Under the PLI scheme, companies like Samsung were given a 6-year window, of which 5 years are eligible for incentives. Samsung has already availed benefits for 4 years and is now seeking approval for the 5th year. If granted, Samsung is expected to double its investment in India. Apart from Samsung, 5 other global companies are participating in the scheme, including Apple's contract manufacturers Foxconn, Pegatron, and Wistron, now part of the Tata Group. Among the local players, Lava, Dixon Technologies, Micromax, and Optimus are also included. Together, these companies are building a new industrial ecosystem in India, not just manufacturing smartphones but also developing components, design capabilities, research infrastructure, and software integration. This expanding ecosystem is opening new doors of opportunity for Indian startups, engineering graduates, and technical institutions, setting the stage for a broader, more resilient tech-driven economy. According to media reports, Samsung's exports from India over the past few years have been in the range of $3 to $4 billion annually. But now, with the potential shift of US supply chains from Vietnam to India, this figure could triple. In other words, Samsung alone could export nearly $10 billion worth of products from India every year. This would be an economic leap that not only elevates the smartphone sector but also gives a powerful new boost to India's overall economy. With such rapid growth, the mobile sector's contribution to India's GDP would become even stronger, potentially doubling both employment opportunities and export revenues. This is why discussions between the Indian government and Samsung have moved beyond mere technical negotiations to the realm of strategic collaboration. The government recognizes that this is not just about providing an incentive, it's about strengthening trust, demonstrating policy stability, and reinforcing global confidence in India. If Samsung's confidence is solidified, other multinational companies will naturally follow suit and prioritize India. And this momentum won't stop at smartphones. It could extend into sectors like semiconductors, electronics manufacturing, EV components, and AI hardware. In this entire unfolding scenario, India is no longer just emerging as a manufacturer. It is steadily evolving into a technology vision for the future. The most inspiring aspect of this entire story is that while India is grappling with terrorist attacks and heightened tensions at its borders, global companies are simultaneously choosing India as their trusted partner. This represents the dual front on which India is fighting today: security on one hand and economic growth on the other. And on both fronts, India is no longer backing down. This marks a new era in India's strategy, where nationalism and entrepreneurship go hand in hand, and where every challenge is seen as an opportunity.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources: news from various news agencies, opinion polls, and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified. but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.